Good afternoon, Internet family. How are you today? I'm good too. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning, but it's okay because we got a piano. So I'm gonna play that with you later today. How was your 2021? How are your resolutions? Did you have any? Do you have any goals? This person's goal is to draw um, and to make music. So practice drawing and practice making music. That's really just what this year is going to be about. Last year was growing plants, so we already know how to do that. We're just going to continue all of the fun stuff, taking care of animals. Oh, that's kind of what we're showing you over here. These are monarch butterflies that grew from an egg. Just a little introduction while we're having a little fun time. If you ever see a butterfly flying around outside, chances are it's looking for a good spot to lay eggs. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just following a butterfly one day, and then I watched it lay eggs. Um, on this plant, which turned out to be milkweed. That's what their caterpillars eat. And I'd already known how to take care of them because... Oh, there's another one over here. You can't see it as well. That's a swallowtail. Its wing fell off because it was the first one that I ever put in there. There's two more downstairs. I just wanted to show ya what we do. I've got a ton more painted ladies. They're over there, blah, blah, blah. But check out, as always, the thistle patch. It's growing very slowly, and they're not very happy because it's winter time. But they are in a window, and they are getting water. You like my tattoos? So yeah, I hope you can hear me. I can see that you are, but I'm just hoping that the technology holds up. This whole thing took a long time to put together. Not just today. Obviously, you put it together. Oh, check out my nails. Aren't those pretty? We're just chatting it up. We're drinking tea. Mmm. So yeah, if you've ever been to this channel, you can tell from the last couple of videos that we've been drawing. We're going to talk a little bit about a book that teaches you how to draw, and I will be your guide in the book as a teaching artist. That is my goal. Who knows what these are? Pretty little face paint crayons, and I had an idea of what I wanted to do today, but I don't know the order. It worked! I didn't know if I could do it with my eyes closed. But I'm trying. This is practice for me as much as it is for you guys. Ta-da! Does anyone know what that is? It's a Greek letter that sounds like this. Psst, 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 psst. I could teach y'all like language while there's so many things. We have so many opportunities on this channel. We can do whatever we want. But I guess language is a good one. Drawing is a good one. And the music is the good one. I kept some of the colors from when we painted our nails together, and my mandala is wearing off, but it was fun. We did that all together, so we're just having a good old time. There was other stuff I wanted to do, but now I feel like I'm gonna have to put them separate. I also wanted to do a me, which is, you know, the Greek for M. And then I also want to do a chaos symbol for chaos magic. But maybe this time I'll just do like some fake eyelashes in pink. Do 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 do. That doesn't look good. It looks like I just like gave myself a black eye. I mean, it looks okay. Should I try it again? I don't think I could try it again if I. Bump, wah, wah, wah. How are you guys at drawing in the mirror? Have you gotten the hang of it yet? That's kind of nice. I look almost like bird-like. I wish I had done a little bit more. Maybe next time. I don't need to go crazy with the face paints. We only want to do a little bit at a time. Otherwise, it just looks kind of silly. There's a little eyeliner left over. I don't know about you guys or girls or thems or z's. I don't. As a person who doesn't really. You can use whatever pronouns with me, but if you want to have a specific one, let me know. But I go by how I want to be treated, and since I don't care, I mean, I care what you call me, but just be nice. Unless you're being ironic, which technically means saying the opposite in order to cause a feeling of amusement. So I'm always ironic, especially when I'm flirting, which kind of makes me look silly. Yep, still cleaning the space. Ooh, you can see the piano over here. Bum, 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 bum. We'll play that later. Okay, only 6 minutes in. And I told you what we're doing today. We're drawing ourselves, right? Keeping to the lesson plan, we're gonna draw ourselves for 5 minutes, and I hope you would do that with me. Yeah, just going according to the plan. We're just like settling into routine. We're learning how to do it all together. Butterflies are really fun animals. The big ones, I gotta say, are harder to work with than my painted ladies. I'll put some on the desk to show you next time. And if you want to see you can just check the earlier videos. I set them up to music, and there was a habitat, and they were alive, and my hand goes in there so you can see that it's me. So this is the exercise. I just opened the book, and I was looking for this last time, and I couldn't find it, and this is the first thing that happened when I opened the book. So that is the power of the unconscious. That is what's the psi. Ps. That's the sound that it makes. Ps. Like a P and an S, but not a P. It's a ps. Ps. Like I don't. There's plenty of words that sound like that. Let's go to an older page. Hey, I wasn't going to show you my older works yet. That was a scribble that I was like, let's not erase it, because it could be valuable. So, who knows this little optical illusion? It is depending on how you look at it, either a vase or two faces. And this is a fun thing to draw because it is an easy way to separate whether you're using your L mode or your R mode version of perception. And we talked about that in an earlier video. But just to give you, oh, that's cute. Are these childish things? No, this is from, these are fully grown adults, like doctors, and that's how they draw themselves. And, isn't that funny? The author says, I watched the man as he did the drawings, watched him as he regarded the models, drew a bit, erased, and drew again for about 20 minutes. During this time, he became restless and seemed tense and frustrated. Later, he told me that he hated his drawings and that he hated drawing, period. If you feel this way, I just like slapped that part of yourself out of existence. Forget about it. Return to when you were a child and you didn't even care maybe you never even got that far as a child. Like, as I was a teacher of children learning to draw, and people have to be taught how to draw, just like they have to be taught how to read and write. But it's important for every adult to read and write, and it's important for every adult to draw because they can. Blah, 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 blah. The author goes on to say, if we were to attach this disability in the way that educators have attached the label dyslexia to reading problems, we might call the problem dyspictoria or dysartistica or some such term. That's funny. That's a funny thing to say. But no one has done so because drawing is not a vital skill for survival in our culture, whereas speech and reading are. Therefore, hardly anyone seems to notice that many adults draw childlike drawings, and many children give up drawing at age 9 or 10. Which is so sad because, like, drawing, just like dancing or singing, it's a very human activity. It's what makes us human. We should do it. So yeah, these children grow up to become adults who say that they never could draw and can't even draw a straight line. The same adults, however, if questioned, often say that they would have liked to learn to draw well just for their own satisfaction at solving the drawing problems that plagued them as children. But they feel that they had to stop drawing because they simply couldn't learn how to draw. Well, boop, boop, boo. That is a false assumption. Look at all these cool drawings. These are representations of, who remembers? That's right, audience. Pure contour drawing. This guy is looking at his hand and then drawing the lines that he sees, like the wrinkles on the paper, without looking at the drawing. And you come up with something like this, just a bunch of squiggles. See? And that is a very valuable skill for one of the 5 basic skills of drawing. And that's it. If you want to learn how to draw, there's only 5 skills, and they're not even drawing skills. They're perceptual skills. They're techniques of seeing the world. And it's a global skill, like riding a bike. It says right here, reading, driving, skiing. It's made up of component skills that become integrated into a whole skill. So once you have learned the components and integrated them, you can draw. Just like when you learned how to walk or read. Once you learn, you know it, and you can do it for life, and you don't forget how to do it. So that's why drawing is so cool. Unlike, I'm learning piano, but if I don't play piano, you forget the song in like a week. Most people do. Maybe you're a genius. So there's 5 basic skills of drawing, and if you want to learn, which you do, I'm telling you, you want to learn. Yeah. The first one is perception of edges, and we did a little of that last time, and we will do more of that today. And then perception of spaces, perception of relationships, and perceptions of lights and shadows. So that's the first 4, and they work in like a circle. Edges, and then you do spaces because they go together. You have the edge, and then you like put the edge together, and then it makes a space. And then when you have multiple spaces, then you have relationships of like how they are together. Where am I in relationship to the clock behind me? After that is lights and shadows. You do know, all of what I said earlier, but then it just gives definition, like in my face. You would know that this is 3-dimensionally, like, kind of round, based on the lights and shadows. Yeah, that's what we need. It makes a lot of sense. The 5th skill is perception of the whole, or gestalt, which just basically puts it all together. So that's not even a skill that you have to work on. It just comes as a result of the first 4 skills. These are examples of people before they learned these lessons and after. And it's just a whole list of like kid-like drawings and then like fully developed drawings and then the same thing. And these people only learned in like 4 or 5 days. They did an intensive program and they paid a lot of money, but I'm going to say we can do it for free and for fun. No one's got to sweat. We'll do some negative spacing. That's fun. Who knows what negative space is? It's like the the background and even like the space in between, but it's everything that's not the object. So that's a really good way to draw. Maybe we'll do one of those. And just because we're like hammering down, we're learning the language of what I'm talking about. We've got different ways of perceiving reality, and I know some people say that the brain is divided into left and right hemispheres, and that each one has like it's a global brain, but that being said, there are different ways of perceiving reality, and the L mode, as we know, is verbal, it's analytic, it's figuring things out step by step, it's symbolic, it's abstract, so that means taking out a small bit of information and using it to represent the whole thing. It's temporal, so that means it's time-oriented. It's rational, so drawing conclusions on reason and facts. Digital, meaning it uses numbers. It's logical, like putting things in order. And then it's linear, so it's important to have all of those things in order to be a successful daily life person. But you also need these other things, which are the R mode. And the left mode is dominant. That's the one that wants to pick up the tasks. It says, gimme, 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 I got this, you stand back. You can be on standby. So this is our backup mode of processing, which is sort of underneath and layered throughout the L mode. So what is R mode? Nonverbal. It's synthetic, meaning it puts things together to form a whole. It's actual and real, so it relates to things as they are in the present moment. It's analogic, meaning seeing the likeness among things, understanding metaphoric relationships. This is cool. We're doing a whole bunch of psychology, but we're really learning how to draw. And that's what learning how to draw does. It teaches you how to perceive reality. So I want you to draw, but through drawing, you'll be better people. And that's why I draw, to become a better person. So our mode is non-temporal, so it's without a sense of time. Did you know that there is a part of yourself that has it's not bound to time? Timelessness is a wonderful feeling. Sometimes, like when you're driving and you're I'm driving, I'm just doing my thing, and then you're like, you look up and you're like, wait a second, I haven't been paying attention for like 30 minutes. It's because the left brain got bored and gave up the task to the right brain, and the right brain was like in the flow. So that's another term, is like being in the flow. When you're in yoga, you're like really into a sport. It's because you shift over. So it's non-rational. That means non-requiring a basis of reason or facts. Willingness to suspend judgment. It's spatial, meaning seeing things where they are in relation, blah, blah, blah. Seeing things as a whole. Intuitive, so making leaps of insight, often based on incomplete patterns, bunches, feelings, or visual images. So you can get just a little piece of information, and you can get a grasp of the whole thing. That's interesting. How is that different from analytic? Yeah, I guess I'm still figuring out how this whole thing works. But holistic is the last one. It talks about everything as a whole. So, going back to where we started, this exercise, let's do it together. We'll do it together. In this exercise, vases and faces, an exercise for the double brain. The exercises that follow are specifically designed to help you understand the shift from dominant left hemisphere mode to subdominant R mode. And I guess that's going to be my goal as a teacher, is to get you guys to understand that shift. And the more you do it, the easier it'll get and more comfortable you'll be. I could go on describing the process over and over in words, but only you can experience for yourself this cognitive shift, this slight change in subjective state. As Fat Waller once said, if you gotta ask what jazz is, you ain't never gonna know. Is that how he sounded? So it is with R mode state. You must experience the L to R mode shift. Observe the R mode state, and in this way come to know it. As a first step, the exercise below is designed to cause conflict between the two modes. Ooh, so now we're getting into fun stuff. So, should I just, I want to, when I learned how to write an essay in AP English, it was statement proof analysis. So this is what I'm going to do. That's the intermingling. Like, you do the statement, which is learning how to draw is fun and important. And then the proof is getting the quote or using the book, like the excerpt. And then the analysis is putting that together as, as it relates to you, I guess. So if you're writing an essay, it's intro, and then at least 3 paragraphs of statement proof analysis, and then the last one is conclusion. So yeah, where you just sum it all up. I loved writing in high school, so that's probably why I still do it now. And I'm learning how to write on the keyboard because I want to write faster. So yeah, got to get those words per minute up. So what do you need for this exercise? You need paper, a pencil, and a drawing board or masking tape. They always want you to like tape your stuff down to the table so it doesn't move around, but let's just get started. So this figure is a famous optical illusion drawing called vase faces because it can be seen as either 2 facing profiles or a symmetrical vase in the center. Do you see that? I see a vase. It's white and the faces are black. White vase, black face. Yep, vase face. That's like a tongue twister. So what are we going to do together? I'm going to have to get a better camera so you can read along with me, but even if I get up close, it doesn't work. But I think if I were to tap on the phone, it would refocus. Should we try, everybody? What do you guys think? Yeah, Jason, let's try. We want to read with you. So, let's try. Boom! It kind of worked. Let's try that again, but a little closer. Oh man, I can't believe that worked. I was like really trying. So yeah, if you can't read, or if you don't want to, I'll help out. Your job, of course, is to complete the second profile, which will inadvertently complete the symmetrical vase in the center. Huh? What? Okay, anyways. You're going to copy this, but here's how you'll do it. Before you begin, read all the directions for the exercise. So, before you begin, I gotta help you guys work through this. Copy the pattern, either figure 2 or figure 3. Oh, and that's over here. So the first thing you're gonna do is draw the face, either on the left side. If you're left-handed, you draw the right face. If you're right-handed, you draw the left face. So, going back. Come on, app, what are you doing? Okay, now you can read, right? Copy the pattern. If you're right-handed, copy. I keep telling you guys, and then it says the exact same thing in the book, so I apologize. If you're right-handed, copy the profile on the left side of the paper facing towards the center. If you're left-handed, draw the profile on the right side facing toward the center. Examples are shown, blah, blah, blah. Oh man, I just out-clicked my thing. Okay. I hope you're having fun. But this is important to understand the exercise, and we won't have to do this anymore after this video. I'll just reference this video. So next, draw horizontal lines at the top and bottom of your profile, forming the top and bottom of the vase. Now redraw the profile. I'm speed reading. Forehead, no. Oh, so redraw the profile on your face phase pattern after you've done the first one and you've done the top and bottom line. Just take your pencil and go over the lines, naming the parts as you go like this. Forehead, nose, lip, you know, chin, neck. You might even do that a second time, redrawing one more time and really thinking to yourself what those terms mean. Then go to the other side and draw the missing profile that will complete the symmetrical vase. And when you get to somewhere around the forehead or nose, you may begin perhaps to experience some confusion or conflict. Observe this as it happens. The purpose of this exercise is for you to self-observe. This is all like self-reflection and inner balance and beauty. How do I solve the problem? So begin the exercise. It should take you about 5 or 6 minutes. So, interesting. Take your time when you're drawing. I'm like, what's going on? It's supposed to be up here. Okay. Oh, what happened? There we go. So, I actually do want a fresh old page for this exercise. Ignore the that profile guy. So, I'm going to draw with my right hand, so I guess I'll start with the left part of the face. And I'm experienced, so you do your best and I'll do my best. And I'm going to do it with a pen. Can you see? Yeah, that might be easier to see than my pencil. So I'm starting at the top. I'm just making marks because this is generally where I want it to go. You know, you're allowed to do a little bit. So I'm copying, and the whole time my eyes are going back and forth between my drawing and the image that I'm drawing. What? Cool. I mean, that basically looks the same. Forehead, nose, lip, chin, and then you draw the line on the bottom, and you draw the line on the top, just like they said in the book. That's the easy part, in my opinion. So the hard part is we're going to draw the second face, or the other half of the vase, and this is the funny thing. We're going to go, and as we're going, we're going to say, you know, forehead, nose, lip, chin, you know, and then bottom. So we're going to do that now. And as we're going, we're going to juggle our eyes. I don't really need that as a reference anymore. I could just try to copy this, but I'm really trying to copy. What does it say? Now redraw the profile on your pattern. Just take your pencil. I'm trying to see what it says in the book. I read it. It just says draw the missing profile. It doesn't say whether you should use the reference or your own thing. So I'm going to use the reference because I'm trying to get as close to reality as possible, not my own reality. So I'm going down, and I'm going to say forehead, nose, lips, chin, and then down. That kind of looks the way it's supposed to. Like if I were to... Oh, I wish I had paints. I don't really want to... If I were to shade this, I need to get paint for next time. But like, I feel like that kind of looks like it's supposed to. Um, and I don't think it would have really mattered. If I had started on this side, my hand would be blocking, so I guess that's why she wanted me to start from the left and go to the right. Um, Pause the video, do it yourself. How did you do? Because I've done this exercise a bunch of times, and I don't know, I feel like that felt kind of easy. It's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to get a conflict. You're supposed to be not know. Um, Maybe I did it wrong. I think maybe you're supposed to like reflect the opposite thing because I just drew a face. I knew what I was doing. Maybe if I was trying to do the opposite of what I was looking at over here, maybe that would have been harder to draw. But I would have just done like a mirror image. I would have honestly done the exact same thing. So I guess it's just good practice. Um, Anyways, let's go into the analysis. Because they can do a better job explaining what just happened cognitively than I can. Like, I need to get like better equipment. So, why you did this exercise? Nearly all of my students experience some confusion or conflict while doing this exercise. A few people experience a great deal of conflict, even a moment of paralysis. If this happened to you, you may have come to a point where you needed to change direction in the drawing, but didn't know which way to go. The conflict may have been so great that you could not make your hand move the pencil to the right or the left. That is the purpose of the exercise, to create conflict so that each person can experience in their own minds the mental crunch that can occur when instructions are inappropriate to the task at hand. I believe that the conflict can be explained as follows. I gave you instructions that strongly plugged in the verbal system in the brain. So that's why you're talking while you're drawing on the second half. You're supposed to say chin, nose. You're supposed to be figuring out what's going on. I'm pretty sure I did that. But, so yeah, remember that I insisted that you named each part, oh, come on, of the profile and said, now really think that those terms mean. Then I gave you the task to complete the second profile and simultaneously the vase. That can only be done by shifting to the visual spatial mode of the brain. This is the part of the brain that can perceive and non-verbally assess relationships, sizes, curves, angles, and shapes. So yeah, the R mode needs visual spatial information to draw, and you can't do that if you're thinking about the words and you're thinking about the symbols. So the difficulty of making that mental shift causes a feeling of conflict and confusion, and even a momentary mental paralysis. You may have found a way to solve the problem, thereby enabling yourself to complete the second profile and therefore the symmetrical vase. How did you solve it? By deciding not to think of the names of the features, or by shifting your focus from the face shapes to the vase shapes. So I guess there's lots of different ways to solve this conflict, and I kind of unconsciously solved it by choosing what was easiest for me, which was looking at the book and focusing on the face. I was focusing on the visual information. I know I was talking, but you can do them both at the same time. So did you draw from the bottom up rather than from the top down by deciding that you didn't care whether the vase was symmetrical or not? I didn't care. I wasn't trying to keep it symmetrical. And drawing any old memorized profile just to finish. Oh, no, that's not what I did. I was like looking at the actual profile in the book. So maybe that's why mine came out. I was focusing really hard on the book and keeping the motion of my hand, like as I traveled through the visual information with my eye, I was like doing this with my eye at the same time as my hand was moving on the page. Boop, 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 and then I did this, and the same thing on here. You know, as I was doing this with my pencil, my eyes were jumping back and forth between my pencil and the image. And I was doing my best to clear my mind of anything else. And it sounds so simple, but it takes a little bit of practice. And that's what the other exercise was good practice for. I'm not going to do it right now, but the other practice was, drawing the lines in your hands without looking at your hands, because you want to get good at creating the connection in your brain between your hand drawing and what you're seeing. Like, if I were to close my eyes and hold my hand out, I'd be like, okay, well, my hand is right here. I know that that finger's bent. I know that that finger's bent. You can move through space without seeing yourself moving through space. And if I were to do the same thing down here, I know that I'm drawing a circle even though my eyes are closed. I know I'm drawing a square with my eyes are closed. The better you get at that, the better you will get at drawing when you are looking. Just like Arya when she was learning how to sword fight. Who likes Game of Thrones? Nobody. That show doesn't exist anymore. It has been wiped from cultural memory. So I went forwards. I don't want to talk and talk and talk because we still got to do our self-portrait. We're doing a lesson every day because we want to get good, guys. We want to get good. And not take an hour to draw a face. We want to draw a face in 5 minutes and make it look like really good. So, just a few more questions because we want everyone to be like little thinkers out there. Focus. Focus. Is that good enough? That's not good enough. Let me ask you, I'm reading this off the screen, so you guys should be able to see it. Let me ask you a few more questions. Did you use your eraser to fix up your drawing? If so, did you feel guilty? If so, why? The verbal system has a set of memorized rules, one of which may be, you can't use an eraser unless the teacher says it's okay. I didn't tell you whether you could or couldn't. The visual system, which is largely without language, just keeps looking for ways to solve the problem, according to another kind of logic. Visual logic. Ooh, visual logic. That's interesting. To sum up, the point of the seemingly simple, it seems simple. I don't know. I think it's really easy. I don't know, guys. Do it a couple times. It'll get really easy. In order to draw a perceived object or person, something that you see with your eyes, you must make a mental shift to a brain mode, specialized for this visual perceptual task. The difficulty in making this shift from verbal to visual mode often causes conflict. Didn't you feel it? To reduce the discomfort and the conflict, you stopped. Do you remember feeling stopped short and made a new start? That's what you were doing when you gave yourself instructions. That is, gave your brain instructions to shift gears or change strategy, or don't do this, do that, or whatever terms you may have used to cause cognitive shift. Last bit. There are numerous solutions to the mental crunch of the vase face exercise. Perhaps you found a unique or unusual solution. To capture your personal solution in words, you might want to write down what happened on the back of your drawing. This is talking about really weird stuff. I'm going to read one little excerpt just because I don't know what's going to happen. This seems like fun. It looks like a poetry thing almost. Thomas, and we still have like 20 minutes left in class, so we're going to continue going. If you want to learn, stick around. If you don't, play a video game. I used to play a lot of video games, but I stopped playing as much because I was like, I didn't feel like if I'm playing Clash of Clans and I'm growing my village and my castle in the game, like I might as well work on real life skills. So Thomas Gladwin, an anthropologist, I'm an anthropologist, contrasted the ways that a European and native Turkey's sailor navigated small boats between tiny islands in the vast Pacific Ocean. Before setting sail, the European begins with a plan that can be written in terms of directions, degrees of longitude and latitude, estimated time of arrival at separate points on the journey. Once the plan is conceived and completed, the sailor only has to carry out each step consecutively, one after another, to be assured of arriving on time at the other planned destination. The sailor uses all available tools, such as a compass, a sextant, what's that, a map, etc., and if asked, can describe exactly how he got where he was going. The European navigator uses the left hemisphere mode, and in contrast, the native Turkey's sailor starts his voyage by imagining the position of his destination relative to the position of other islands. So as he sails along, he constantly adjusts his direction according to his awareness of his position thus far. His decisions are improvised continuously by checking, sorry, it's a different kind of writing. It's like smaller. So he checks his positions as he goes using like the sun and the wind and landmarks. And he navigates with reference to where he started, where he's going, and the space between his destination, and the point where he is at that moment. And if asked how he navigates so well without instruments or a written plan, he cannot possibly put it into words. This is not because the turkeys are unaccustomed to describing things in words, but rather because the process is too complex and fluid to put into words. So that's just what you're doing when you're drawing. And you should be drawing on the right side, obviously. It's like what he's doing. So it just goes into a review, and we've done a lot of review. I think we should just get into the drawing part. The next thing that they do is upside down drawing, and that's a really fun exercise. Once we get through the other exercises, we might try it. We've got 15 minutes left in class, so that's plenty of time to move on. But just going into what we said before, finally done with the reading. Ugh, reading. We can go back to actually seeing what I was doing. And now we gotta refocus because I do not have autofocus yet. But at least you can hear me, right? Boom! We're getting better. Try this exercise a couple times. Google the image. Like, I wouldn't use mine as a reference because mine is obviously a little wonky. But take a look. That is me drawing that while I'm talking to you guys, while I'm talking about the drawing and everything in the exercise. So I don't know how long it took me, but I did the exercise. So I'm learning how to draw, and you guys should do the exercise so that you can learn how to draw. If you don't know where to start, that's a good spot to start. It's a good little warm-up. So we've got a good 15 minutes. I think that's enough time for like a couple gesture drawings. How do I wanna sit this time? So I just want to jump right in and do a couple quickies. I'm seeing a circle, and I'm seeing there's my shoulder like that. I'm seeing my hair. I'm seeing that's my headgear. My eyes are kind of like over here. There's like a curve that I'm starting to get the hang of on the side. And now let's start another one, a little darker. No, I don't want to do darker. I just want to do a couple gestures. My nose is a little more in the center for this one. It's good to just like loosen up before you start drawing. Once yeah, I only needed a couple. Can you know, I only did like a little bit. I am blowing through this book. I'm gonna have to like get another sketchbook after this one. So let's just jump right in class. And don't forget to drop a comment below with your name so that I can keep an attendance sheet of you guys. I literally just started drawing my face backwards. Maybe that's a good exercise of like drawing the mirror image of what you're seeing. So I'm starting out with kind of like a eggy kind of shape, and it's angled at the bottom because of my jaw and my chin. I'm dividing it basically in half because that's where your eyes are, and now I'm putting a little line going through my face vertically, and I know that my nose is kind of like there. My mouth is kind of like there. It's got like an angle to it as well, so maybe let's like add that in our little prep. See, like my eyebrows are kind of like here, and my ears like here-ish. My hair is like all over the place. Seeing my eye kind of go down like that, and we know that my lips will end about there. So there's my shoulder. If I were to draw in my spine, it would go this way. That was another lesson I learned in figure drawing from Mr. Nunez is, like, if you're drawing a figure, draw the spine, draw the hips first. You can't see that. So, did you enjoy our little practice and learning from the book? Did you like the book? I think the nose is even a little bigger than that. As always, when I start out, I tell you guys to like not don't just totally start out with dark lines. Try to maybe start blocking in some darker shapes that you see, something general. Because if you start putting something in really specific at the beginning, you might have to hold on to it for the whole drawing, and things can sometimes like shift around, and we want everything to just kind of have a connected feel to it. I'm like, this whole side of the face should be in shadow because my light source is coming from here. I was like confused for a second. So I do see kind of dark spots here-ish. That's like where my eyes are gonna go about, maybe. I'm not quite sure yet. I know that my nose goes down. Well, and then it's kind of got a ball on the end. It goes up here. Then underneath my nose, I got my mustache, which, like we said before, you want to kind of line up. Oh yeah, that I put a little construction line before, and it's pretty close. Underneath my nose, my lips, and then I've got a weird triangle thing here, and then underneath the triangle is my chin. And I see this whole part of my face is kind of in shadow in comparison to the nose. So if we were to shade it like that, it kind of makes the nose pop out a little bit. What do you think? I think it does. I think if something is bright, then everything around it needs to darken up a little bit. Starting to get the hang of like putting lines in the direction that the hairs are on my face, and let's see. I usually get a little messed up when I draw in the headpiece, but I'm like starting to see it's like it'll slowly take shape. It's supposed to be a bit of a process, you know? You can't just be like put your pencil down and then bam, like have a drawing. It is, I don't want to say slow, because you can do speed drawing, especially with gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is supposed to be fast. Something's wrong. I think I need to define this eye a little bit more. It's about the same line over here. Do 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 do. Do you guys like any music? If we are gonna be an internet fam, then I'm gonna have to learn about you guys. Like, there's a price that you have to pay for coming here and learning how to draw. Then the price that I'm asking for is, you want to tell me about yourself. That just like really made me smile. So you guys make me smile. So thanks for that. In this crazy old world, it's easy to feel alone or sad. Ooh, I liked the way that was going too. So usually it'll take a couple days for me to like get back into the flow of drawing, and I'm starting to feel like I am. Ooh. Sometimes you draw something and you're just like, ah, yes, I like that. Do y'all play any instruments, or like what separates you from the rest? Know what I mean? I want to know. I want to know. Will you be my girl? Hey, baby. I always make that line too dark. I want to know. Will you be my girl? You can listen to music if you're drawing, but try to like keep it, you know, you can, I'm not trying to make rules for you or anything, but I'm just telling you, you might be more successful drawing if you put on like chill hop or like some trance music or something. Like if you want to put on Britney Spears or something, like be my guest, but it might get in the way of the drawing. I'm like really focusing on the face because it's going well right now, but I'm remembering to put in some more. So this comes up here. I'm like, if that's my eye, let's give, there's a little more definition, I mean shade over here. Ba 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 ba. There was a time where I was doing like 30 to 40-minute portraits like every single day for weeks. And as soon as I was done, part of the process was I would go upload it to Facebook. And I think it was a private album because I was saving it up for my book of portraits, of 500 portraits. That's what we're doing. Da, 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 da. There's like a little arch in my nose, and it's very, very subtle, but it's actually very important for getting the correct shape of my nose. Look at that. It's just like, bam. I really want to see what you guys come up with, so comment below with an image of like the drawing exercise that you did. Let me know, was it easy? Like, did you struggle? Oh man, I made that way too dark. Man. Now I gotta make this all dark. So next time I won't shade in my lips as dark just because I'm excited that I put them in the right spot. Ugh, man. I forgot that I was smiling, which changes this line over here. And there's a whole bunch of color, not lines, there's like shadows in the nostrils. Boop ba doop ba doo, and then this goes, oh wow, look at that, I didn't even put this in yet. There's like a huge bag under my eye. And I know right over here there's like a little thing that works into my eyebrows, which I can like never get right for some reason. This one is coming out better than my other ones. It only took, what, 3 or 4 days. I'm like not gonna give up as easily because this one is clearly going better than the other failed attempts. As everything is getting darker down here, everything elsewhere has to match now. And that can start to cause a little bit of a drama in the painting. I say painting, but I mean drawing. But drawing and painting is the exact same thing. If you did not know, I want to keep that highlight. That is a very important highlight in my eye. Because I'm not using erasers. You're allowed to use erasers, just don't go cray. And then this whole, ooh, man. Sometimes I'm just too casual with my shading, and then you have like a bunch of ugly lines in your drawing, and you're like, oh, yeah, that was not a good choice. So this whole thing is darker because of my bird. For underneath shading, it's like not as big of a deal. What direction you're heading in with your pen or pencil, but as you get further with your layering, then it matters. I really want to get into this part of the drawing, so that is like that, and then that goes up there, which kind of matches. That's what I'm seeing there. I am fully crossed over, and I know that I'm crossed over, which is why I'm easily able to like put this stuff in now. Do you know what I mean by crossed over? Oh, what just happened there? But like, do you know what I mean by when I say crossed over? Like, even though I'm still talking to you guys, I know that the part of my brain that I'm using, there we go. That's my ear, and like my chin, which can come in maybe a little bit more, which means this whole thing is all beard and can be shaded in thusly. And this whole thing is all dark hair. That's all dark hair. And the direction that my hair is moving is like this. So I'm just going to block that in. Let's pretend that my hair is white on top. I don't really feel like, well, It just depends on how much you want to work the drawing. Um, like, you can stop at any time. Something's weird. It's because I chopped off this much of my head. I'm drawing this in upside down, and now I'm just measuring. Can you see how big of a difference that made? And that was just from flipping it upside down for 1 second, and I noticed that that much of my head needed to be fixed. So, I probably even went a little bit too high, but I started noticing um, some problems, and that's what drawing is. Drawing is solving problems. How do you solve a conflict? I keep telling this story about me posting them on Facebook, and I never tell you like the most important part, which is maybe I did tell you already that the facial recognition software was picking them up, and then that was how I could tell that I was like finished drawing that day. Was that Facebook could tell that I was a person. Yep, it's important to get shadows like around your nose. Ooh, man, that really made a difference. That was a good difference. And then around your eye has to be kind of smoothed out. This is all dark hair, all dark and shadowy. My hair like really goes out further if I turn my head, so let's do 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 do. And at the bottom, my hair kind of spins, and then here it goes like that. There it goes like that. There it goes like that. There it goes like that. And I have been intentionally leaving the wire out so far, but I just put the wire in. Um, I can see that that's my chin and that's my hair. And in the drawing, my hair is coming all the way down to here. So um, that is just something that, I think I keep moving. I think that is one of my problems. I like can't seem to get the eyebrows right. Um, my little headphone piece thing that I'm like was happy with and now I'm not as happy with, and there should be more shadowy here. Maybe there's like a little flick on the tip of my eyebrow, like right there. And it happens above my iris. It should be here. And then this should come down all the way to over here. That was a big difference. Whoa. That was a big, big difference. That really helped my drawing look like me. I'm telling you, find a couple things in your face that are like, that look like you. Um, for me, it's like obviously my beard, the mustache, I've the nose, like that little arch in my nose that I mentioned. Um, I'm saying my eyebrows again because they're just that important. Yeah, for some reason it's just like I guess they move around a lot, so I just have trouble locating them in space. Um, this should be like that. This whole thing should be darker. Yeah, what are we at? We're at 104. I don't want to keep this going on forever, but this is all my one shirt, so I'm just scribbling that in to prove a point that that is all one thing. And there are a couple wrinkles over here, and So I know the shirt goes kind of like that. I'm going through lead so fast now. This isn't the best drawing, but it is a drawing that looks like a person. So that's a win. And we are getting faster and more confident with our drawings. It stops over here, so let's put our hair over there. There's a play-by-play between like how developed you want the drawing to be. It's possible to make a quick sketch and have it look fantastic and for you to like leave it there and it'll be like a perfectly fine finished piece and you can be happy with it. Or you can spend an hour making sure that every shadow is like perfectly blended. It's just important to know when to stop, which generally is if you get bored. Don't stop just because you're experiencing that conflict, because as we've learned, it's important to feel that conflict when you're drawing. And when you know it's happening, I don't know, it's just hard to describe. It's like it's said in the book, you know, I can keep talking about it, but it doesn't really mean anything unless you guys experience it for yourself. So, I'm like begging you to go experience this for yourself now. I'm getting a little tired of working on this, so I'm gonna start wrapping it up. It was supposed to be a 5-minute drawing, and it always moves into like 10 or 15 minutes. I do recall from my last critique that I was complaining that I didn't shadow in my neck at all, so there's some neck shadow, and there was also some shadow under the hair. I think what I might end up doing in the future is getting different kind of mediums because it's just like it's so easy to define something if you just use like a different color. Which reminds me, I didn't draw in my special thing, which is going to be here. And who remembers what the Greek letter is? It sounds like this. Ps, ps, ps. It's a psi. And it is a symbol for the unconscious mind. And we've also got a couple wings over here, which I really like. I really like those wings. Yeah, beautiful. They look like crow's feet. So I guess when I'm older and I have wrinkles, I'll just cover them up with paint. No, I'll just show them off and be like, "Look, I'm old. Look at me, everybody. I'm an old person." Just make sure like you have clean line work. That was the defining characteristic between whether facial recognition would pick up my face or not, was whether it could pick it up from the background. So this is a dry erase marker. This is just something I learned how to do from experience. But if you're not really sure how to end a piece, just remember that the background is important. Kind of going in the reverse direction for this one. So things don't just float in space. Like things have shadows and they're in the background. Oh man, I kind of crisscrossed it up there, and now I think I have to crisscross the whole thing. And then I guess I'm going to have to get some crisscrosses this way too to make up for that other one. This is good for if you have to cover up a couple mistakes around the edges as well. This is extraneous, but I feel like it's important in order to determine where the quality of line starts and ends. And we are focusing on, what was our lesson? The first thing is perception of edges. So I am, just to prove a point, putting a very, very clean edge to define myself from the background. Okie dokie. And what do you do after you finish a drawing? You sign it. So we'll do a little siggy. I do JSJ. And then I also give my little butterfly smiley face signature. And then the date is 1/16/2021, and how long of a drawing. This was like at least a 20-minute to 30-minute drawing, so I'll just put 20 minutes because I was talking a lot. And then just for emphasis, another thing that you do, especially in your portfolio, is you'd say pencil on and marker, so like, graphite and ink in, and then you would say like 8x5x11. Yeah. I guess I can really quickly flip it upside down and be like, how's that look? Because if it doesn't look good when it's upside down, then there's something wrong. So I guess I'm not very happy with the definition on my headset. The edges, you can't really perceive the edges in my drawing. So that is why I am defining them with a little cheat. And then that kind of went like up there. And it's not good to have your hand on your face while you draw, but I'm like smearing it. Yeah, look at that. If I had a little eraser, I'll have to get an eraser at some point because there are parts that I left deliberately white and then I smeared it. So you can use an eraser. Ooh. Look at this. Look at this little thing. I'm using another pencil because this eraser is too valuable. I want to keep that pencil nice, but this is a good one. So I guess while I'm here, I'm going to go in and do a couple of the highlights. Go down my nose like this. Is it even working? Some erasers just make things worse, so be careful. You could like be happy with your drawing and then totally mess it up. So I like went way too hard with that line, so while I'm erasing, I might as well fix it. I just did it again. Don't use your finger to blend. If you're, I mean, you can, but I'm begging you. Like, I had a self-portrait when I was applying to art colleges, and I used my finger to blend one, and the lady was like, "Don't do that," and I was like, "Okay," so I stopped doing that. It's starting to not be what I want anymore, so I'm gonna stop. So, how do you guys feel about your portraits? Do you... Oh, I guess I'll do critique now. I'll hold it up here for while I do my critique. And not throw that. I lost it the last time I threw it off screen, so... You like my nails? I can never get the angle right. Modeling is hard. So, it's like a fat face. It's so wide. That's kind of, I tried to lengthen it up. Yeah, I guess I was turning my face, and then my hair is sticking out past that. I could have made my hair longer. Oh, maybe that's what's bothering me. The hair I said was coming down my chin, and then in this one, it's like way above my chin. So maybe that's what was bothering me. Wah, 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 wah. I had taken it too far down, and then after I had taken it too far down, I had brought it back up too high. Hair is not my specialty, so that's kind of another thing that I'm working on is my hair. This wire thing has been moving up and above, like above and below my chin area, so it's just muddled. I don't like how it's muddled. Muddled. Maybe that's what was bothering me. I'm just making it a little bit darker because beard and because there's shadow. Like this should have a shadow. Maybe just a little more definition around the edges. I left my hair white because, like, it's just annoying to put in so much hair. But that looks really good, so I guess do the shading first and then put the line work in after or something. How's that look? Oh, I totally forgot I changed it. So yeah, that's a little better. The camera's like not straight, so I'm struggling. What do you think? It is obviously not the best drawing. I like the same spots that I like always like. I'm putting it over here now. I like the nose. I think that came out pretty good. I like this eye. That came out pretty good. And going down this side of the face is like easy for me because the line is right there. I can see it. And in the middle of the face, this eye particularly is difficult because it's just like right in the middle of everything and then it's on the edge of the face. So I'm still working out the dimensions. In order to make something look three-dimensional, you have to have really hard shadows, and we're kind of working up to that. So I feel like in a couple more days we will have some nice defined pictures. I don't want to hold it up anymore. Yeah, the nose was good. The mustache was good. We kind of fumbled with the lips. We kind of I mean, the chin is. I'm pretty happy with like the placement. Like in comparison, just to show you guys, I would say that this is an improvement from the first drawing. Like, which one is better? That one or this one? And same thing, you know, like, I'm not going to show you all of the drawings that we did every single time. Like, you can, oh, and then those ones I worked on my own in between. So after I do my portrait, after I do a portrait for the day, like I'm still practicing anatomy because we really want to hammer in that we know how to work. The better you are drawing a skeleton, then you'll be better at knowing where all the muscles are. And when you know where all the muscles are, then it's really not that difficult to draw everything on top. Sketchbooks are good for if you have an idea, you can draw it out and then you can have the picture that'll help you remember, which is better than just having a list of words because maybe I'm very visual oriented, but when I'm going through notebooks, I will skip all of this information. Like I won't read any of it, and I'll go straight for the picture, and I'll be like, "Oh, I know exactly what I was talking about there." So, like, that's a bad drawing. I know that's a bad drawing, guys. Don't tell me anything. With those, I didn't even get past anything. That was old. Do the exercise. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. We'll do it. If you don't show me that you did it, if you don't comment below and attach a picture and say how you felt about the conflict, then we will do the exercise as many times as we need to. Because this is for me, I want to get better at drawing, but I'm also teaching us all how to draw through the process. It looks, it's better. There's a process. If I were to have a flip book and have like 100 of the faces, which is probably what's going to happen, we'll do like a compilation because I'm literally in the same position for like every single drawing. But every single one looks so different and it's like the same face. The only thing that's changing is my visual perception and just like is my brain and hand matching up today. So you can practice that with the exercises of pure contour drawing. Review other videos in the past, and I'll do more in the future. Um, we've got 9 minutes left. We might as well make this an hour and a half class because how long are your college lectures? I remember I had some classes that were like 45 minutes, and I had some classes that were an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, because sometimes you can't go to the class every single day of the week, so they double it up. It was the same thing that I would work at restaurants, and I would do a double. That's what they would call it. You would have like a full work day, and then you'd go home, and then you'd come back and you'd do a whole nother full work day. That's why I'm like annoyed that I'm not super rich right now because I spent years working over like doing twice the amount of work and it's just like I should oh my god. Real value is in, you know, these butterflies are what was valuable to me now, and filling up my sketchbook is what's valuable to me now, and teaching you guys. Um I'm trying to figure out what our interaction is. Are you guys do you want to be like internet fam? Do you want to be students? When I was with my kids in class, they called me Mr. Jason. So, am I Mr. Jason to you? Teacher. I never liked the kids in school who would go, teacher, teacher. I was always the one who would be like, be better than that. But now as an adult, if a kid called me teacher, I would be thrilled because that is a compliment. Drink green tea, it's good for your health. Just a little bit of current events. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. It's still COVID. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, and I don't know how, but it's a year later, and they're saying it's still going to get worse, and we're not through the hard part yet. So I was working in a restaurant, learning Greek. I had specifically taken the job so that I could just hang out and converse in Greek all day long. And then the pandemic started, and they, obviously changed the schedule, and we couldn't do that anymore. Oh, I just spilled my green tea. It's okay. I have a towel right here. Um, oh man, that was on my nice book. It'll just be a little stained. That's okay. Ah, haha, you watched me spill. It wasn't a bad spill. I caught it. How are my drawings? My babies made this whole book for me. I made them. Maybe I'll show off a couple portraits that the kids did. I can't believe I just spilled like that. That's funny. Um, yeah, current events. Unemployment was abysmal. It's not even our fault that we lost our jobs, and the government doesn't seem to have a problem with letting people starve to death. So it's kind of like we always knew that, but now it's just like so obvious that like they will let you starve to death. So careful who you vote for. All right, let's finish this tea. I'm just running out the clock now. Every minute that I've got on YouTube is a good minute. Mama. Who remembers my book? This is from my kids, and it's got tea on it now. It's gonna look older. This is what my sister said. They still look like kids' drawings. Isn't that funny? That was on December 24th. No, it wasn't. September 20th. And my response in my mind was, how many years did you read kids' books? Because when kids are learning to read, they read kids' books. So if kids are learning how to draw, they're going to look like kids' pictures, right? So if you're an adult and you're learning how to read, you'd start out with kids' books, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're kids' books because you're an adult. So they're just beginner reader books. And when we're beginning how to, when we start drawing, we're going to have beginner drawer drawings. You know what I mean? So that was in reference to whether or not people will want to buy a book of kids' drawings. And I think they will, even if they look like kids' drawings. Look at Sebastian's first drawing. That was like his first attempt of drawing his face. And then this was his second attempt. He didn't last very long. Oh, but he says, don't be jealous of our drawings. He was so confident, and he didn't even draw his nose. I love seeing confidence in children. Haley had her own personal style. Look at that. They always like kind of look the same. Some of the kids like really got the hang of it. Oh my God, Scarlett drew her face, and Nora. These are my kids, and this is my book. Riaz was one of my favorites. Have you ever raised a trans kid? Because I have. I mean, not gave birth to, but if you're a teacher, you're basically a parent, and instead of having one kid, you have like 20. Riaz was born male, but identified as female. So it was a little girl who liked swords and drew eyes. This one has 3 eyes, and this one has 5 eyes. But yeah. The other kids didn't have any problem with being in the same class as like a non-gender conforming child, except for when we would take them to the bathroom, because we always had to take them to the bathroom, and the other girls would be like, Riaz is peeing standing up, and I would be like, ha ha ha, leave Riaz alone. Aren't kids' pictures funny? Like, if your picture of your face looks like this, that's fine. Give it to me. I'll put it in my book. Eventually, you will get better. You know, these kids grew so much. I just love flipping through my book. I love going through my old drawings, and I love seeing other people's drawings, and I love showing off drawings. I would really love to have like an art gallery. You know, that's a self-portrait. No, I'm kidding. He's up there, but like these kids experience the conflict. And you can tell when they do, and you can tell when they like have crossed over well. So, you know, Where's Lola? Come on, yeah, this is Lola. Lola was my best art student, to be honest. But like, you can even see with the kids, like, they are always drawing the same face, and you can see their emotion. She must have been happy and feeling herself that day, because it shows. Maybe she was a little shy that day. Who knows? But I just love seeing people's improvement. Like, it's just so cool. Um, and art is my dream. Yeah. So everybody, just practice. It's not even about drawing. It's just learning how to see. It's about the psychology. Oh my God, there's still tea all over this thing. I'm getting a little bored. I'm gonna go make some lunch and practice a little piano, and then maybe upload a song for you guys later, because I just spent all my money on a piano, so I might as well play it for you. Um, as always, great job, class. I don't know. We're homeschooling. We can't really go out. So this is what we're doing. This is a pandemic class, and if there's one skill that you can get out of this pandemic without even leaving your house, it's drawing. So make it your goal. My goal is to draw every day this year, and get really good at figure drawing. So, uh, my anatomy book is somewhere. So get a textbook or whatever. If you don't have it, just use the internet. Let's draw each other. Let's draw each other. Please, can we draw each other? That's like my favorite thing to do. Um, so if you're this far into the video, like, cool, 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 cool. I don't know. Get to know me. Uh, and I want to know you. But I never know how to end these videos. We're still developing a routine, and let me know if anything changes in your enjoyment of the routine. But, face paint, and then we will do a little bit out of the book, like an exercise, and then after the exercise, we will move on to like a portrait, and then after that, we will do the critique, and then maybe a little gab, a little tea time, a little kiki. I don't know. I just let's be friends. Let's get to know each other. So, hashtag like and subscribe. Oh, is always upside down. Bye, 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 bye. See you next time. Don't forget to respond. I want to see your work, everybody. Be accountable.